Hi, I'm Bazzly Ross with Tailors Union, and today I'm going to show you how to decolonize your closet. We have a little bumpkin here. It's an upcycled button-up shirt that I can show you how to make in another video. But it's a skirt, and today we're going to show you how to take this and this off. The first thing is identify the stitching. You can see the tiny little stitching around here, and if you flip it over, you'll barely be able to see it, but you can see some of the stitching around here. Okay, so I flip it around and see those stitches. It's really hard to see in black, but you'll find the stitches and then go under, and I would open up a few like that, and then you'll turn it over and you can pull it away. At this point, you can keep using this, or you can get this and barely shave. Keep it straight and away from the fabric. Do not cut on the fabric. And if you get some pulling, it appears that this was glued a little bit. You don't want to break the fabric, so you can go like that. After, you're going to want to pick away all of the extra threads. Which you can also use this. Okay, so tags like these, if you turn it around, it's all the way in this seam. So this is a bit more of a pain. We're gonna have to, you could come in, pull it apart, and when you pull it apart, it's hard to see, but you'll see those threads. You're going to get the thread picker, seam ripper, in right there. And we are going to have to re-sew this seam back together. And while you're pulling out the stitches, you can think about pulling out things in your life. And with this one, there's a lot of, the colonization is held in there by many stitches and threads and seams, and you can imagine that when we rip through every thread, it's just dismantling a little bit of the settlized, colonized world. And this is just one way to metaphorically free ourselves from that colonization. After we buy and care for things and invest in things, we really don't need to be walking advertisements for these brands anymore. So after we have that colonization out, we do need to fix this hole. A part of reparations, a part of destruction. After you dismantle something, you have to fix it. So it's not just gonna come out all nice and clean sometimes. You have to repair the seams. So take all of the extra threads out, snip those out. Let's see how it looks from the other side. So if we flip it over, we can see how we need to really focus on sewing from here to here. Again, take out as many threads as you can. This is all out. This right here is a running stitch. So this is, you know, already taken out, but we don't want to pull. You want to be wary of not pulling there, and we're gonna stitch back over it right here so it doesn't come out. So just clip all of those extra threads so they don't get in the way of sewing. And then you'll sew from here to here, from here to here, and then from here, make sure you stitch right there. And then if you wanted to, you could zigzag to reinforce the stitch if you wanted to. I put the needle right in the running stitch. Let's see how I am filming and sewing. Back stitch, a the first couple stitches. And then back stitch again. So you can see that I stitched it a couple of times. This is how it looks on one side. This is how it looks on the other side. I stitched it over a couple of times because there were a couple of running stitches, but I made sure to get over that running stitch. And then when you flip it back over, it just looks like a normal seam. So for this specific label, when you flip it around, there's no stitching because there's this yoke over it. So you can either start with this, with the seam ripper. It's nice to just get one end open, but you get a couple threads to get it open. And then you can come in with this if you want. You can continue around with the seam ripper, but I just find that using this is faster. There's double stitching here, so I want to be careful not to rip the fabric. So I'll come in with the seam ripper. And then, of course, pick out all the little threads. And then for these little guys, you can see this thread at the top. You can go in there and then loosen that, and then oop. Did you see I almost got the fabric? Oops. Knocked the phone over.